Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Donjo number 1724 in a 605 finish. This is a magnetic catch in a polished brass type finish. That's what it looks like. Okay. And this 1724 is going to be known as a dual triple pole available in the 605, which is kind of code for brass. It's really not 605. They should just call it gold. 605 would mean that it is made of a brass base material with a polished brass finish over it. This isn't a piece of brass casing that's on here. Not sure what it is. It's not magnetic. Maybe an aluminum outer casing. I'm not sure what it is. It's certainly not brass though. That's for sure. But it's a very faithful, polished brass finish. If you've got polished brass hardware or some sort of bright dip gold hardware, this would certainly complement that. A dual triple pole catch. This is going to be synonymous with the heavy-duty magnetic catch that you're going to see from specific manufacturers. This is going to permit you to install a mechanism to hold the door in the closed or latch or maybe open position, I suppose, for a single door with this real long strike that you have here, or for a pair of doors. If you're going to install this up at the header, you've got these two single strikes that are here that you can use. You've got a pair of closet doors. You want to put a magnetic catch. You can surface mount this. You can mortise this flush, although the body's a little bit large. You are going to get screws for everything. Screws for the body, 2 of those that you're going to need. We're going to talk about that in a moment. Let's talk about it right now. Features a floating plastic bushing inside of there, and that's nice because it will allow you to tailor the installation and position the body just right, and then tighten the screws down. And then you'll get a couple of screws for the strikes, whether you use the single or the 2 double strikes. Dimensional properties. There is a link below this video to a document called Template that will show you the dimensional properties. Basically 3 3/16 wide, or length, just short on that. And overall height is about 5/8. Forgive me. And overall height is about 13/16. And overall depth of the unit, about 1 inch. Indeed, maybe a little heavy on that. The single strike, 3 3/16 by 7/8 approximately. The double strikes, let's take those dimensions. Okay, now the double strikes. That template says they're about 1 1/8 inch length. Maybe 1 3/16 with a width of about 7/8, maybe 13/16, forgive me. That seems right on. So the template gives you all the dimensional properties, lots of dimensions. That's great. So how are you going to install this? Well, you're going to position the body in place after having done a reality check as best as you can with maybe your strike attached. Place that where you want it, mark the holes, and then drill them. I would put that bushing right in the center, just so that you had that small amount of play. The strike is attached, and you may have noticed that the strike has these prongs on it, and it's on all of the strikes. You want to place that pointed towards the door so that when you push the door up against to test it, you're marking the location of the strike. Place the strike there, pre-drill your holes, and attach. It's that simple. If it's a single door, I would probably want to install it on the jamb where my flush poles or my dummy hardware or my edge pole has been installed, so that I'm pulling on it in that area where the force is most. You don't want to install it up top and then you're flexing the door. If it's a double door, obviously it's going to be up on the header, split equally between overlapping the 2 doors. Same concept, you're going to apply your strikes right to the magnetic face. Get them positioned well. Do a reality check. Make sure everything seems normal. These these magnetic assemblies, they also pivot a bit, so be mindful of that. And you kind of want that, because the door, when it closes, you know, it's not, I mean, it's at 90 degree, but it's helpful to be able to have that pivot a little bit to maximize the amount of initial force required to pull it open, is why that's like that. So as you're positioning the unit initially, you probably want to make sure that those are flat, because they can move, they can tip on you, and that's by design. Okay, mortising this, you know, if you've got the ability, if you have a single rabbeted frame and the stop is large enough, it'd be pretty nice to mortise this flush so that it's not hanging off into the opening. That'd be kind of neat. It's rarely done, but it's something that could certainly be considered to be done. But you've got that thickness there to contend with. Again, I'm not sure, if I forget if I said it, it's available in this brass color and a chrome color. There is a rating down below that it's 14 pounds of load capacity. That's pretty substantial. That might be important for you to know if you want to know if your door is going to open based on a certain amount of force put on it. You might have a 9-pound dog, and you want to make sure the dog can't push the door open. That might be interesting to know. But it also allows you to gauge the load capacity of the magnetic catch when comparing it to others. While this is not the highest, and there are electromagnetic versions of magnets that will give you, well, you know, several dozens of pounds up to thousands of pounds. It's helpful when you're dealing with a manual piece of hardware for furniture or cabinets or small doors to know what the load rating is. There's a link below this video to a document called Product Catalog where you can review all of the bolts and latches from Danjo. It's a handy catalog. You might not be aware of the fact that they are a comprehensive manufacturer of such things like flush bolts and roller latches. If you know the name Danjo at all, you probably do because of their door reinforcing wraparound plates or their latch protectors, but they are a comprehensive provider of all things trim and auxiliary hardware related, which is evidenced by the link below this video to the manufacturer's page, where you can pull up not only all of the Danjo products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog, and all of the subsection catalogs as well, showing you that they are a comprehensive provider of trim and auxiliary hardware. And I'm partial to Danjo because in this day and age they have a relatively petite footprint within the industry, but in their realm they do a really good job. Prompt, reliable, predictable people, shipping lead times, prices. They can occasionally pull the proverbial rabbit out of a hat for you, and on the rare occasion that they make a mistake, they make it good immediately, and it's why you keep going back to them. Good people there. If you have any questions on the Danjo 1724 magnetic catch, dual triple pole in a brass finish, or any other Danjo product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.